Police torture. The case of Solomons Caspas Poul, a report by the Asian Human Rights Commission. Sometime during the month of April 2008, 4 police officers attached to the Criminal Investigation Division in Colombo went to the house where the relatives of Solomons Poul were residing. The officers asked his relatives for his whereabouts as they were searching for him, and they were told that Poul was staying with his wife in Navalapita. The police officers left shortly after. At 9 p.m. on the 30th of May, 6 police officers attached to the Teldinia police station, 3 of them in plain clothes, once again came, asking Poul's sister and his mother's his whereabouts. Once again they told the policeman of where he was staying. At 7 a.m. the following morning, Poul's sister received a phone call from his wife, telling her that the police had arrested Poul at 2 a.m. that morning, but she did not know where he had been taken. Then, at 4 p.m., Poul's wife called again to say that he was being held at the Nawalapatia police station. They were asked to go there and see him. At 8:30 a.m. on the 1st of June, Poul's sister and his younger brother went to the police station. However, the police officers did not allow them to speak with him. When his sister asked an officer whether he would be transferred to another place, she was told that he would be transferred to the Teldinia police station in about 2 hours. At 11:30 a.m., 3 officers attached to the Teldinia police station arrived and took him into custody. They delivered him to their station by public bus. The victim's relatives took the same bus, but when a police officer recognized them, he confiscated the mobile phone of Poul's sister, telling her that he would return it once the bus had reached the town, which he did. Poul's sister told him to come to the station and see him. At 2:30 p.m., when Poul's sister and mother went to the Teldinia police station, he told them that he had been beaten by policemen attached to the Nawalapatia police station whilst he was in their custody. They had beaten him on his head and hands for about an hour with a baton and some plastic material. When Poul said that he was in pain, they gave him painkillers and medicinal oil. Upon learning of her brother's experience while he was in the custody of the former police station, she asked the policemen at Teldinia not to beat him, to which they agreed. They also claimed that they did not beat prisoners in that station. Getting this response, his sister and mother gave him some food and went home. At 8 a.m. on the 2nd, when his sister and mother went back to the police station, they saw Poul being subjected to questioning by a police officer. When they were able to speak to him, Poul was crying. He told them to look after his wife, who was 8 months pregnant, as he had been told he would not be released for some months. A police officer who was wearing plain clothes and one of those who were questioning the victim asked the victim's sister to come and see him in another room. In that room, there were 3 men who had asked her whether she had any involvement in terrorist activities. When she denied it, they pressured her to say something relevant about these certain activities. This time, the police officer told her that the reason why they arrested her brother was that he had been to Kilinochchi, the northern part of Sri Lanka, sometime in 2003. The police claimed that they knew Poul was knowledgeable about firearms and that he was supposed to have been involved in terrorism. However, they could not provide any credible evidence nor substantiate these allegations. After the questioning was completed, his sister asked Poul about the allegations, and he told her that he went there only to visit relatives. He also said that he'd only stayed there for 3 or 4 days. He told his sister that at that point in time, he had not been beaten by the policeman. Again, she gave him some food and medicine before leaving. When the victim was visited again at the police station on the 3rd of June, they found him lying on the floor, half naked. When his sister tried calling him, he could not talk properly, prompting them to ask what had happened. The victim made the following statement. At 2 a.m. today, 3rd of June, about 6 persons in civilian clothes, having been drunken, beat me and tied up my legs and hung me from the ceiling. Then they tied my hands as well and severely beat me for about 2 hours. They hit my head, arm, heels and soles of my feet. I can't move my left arm due to the assault. Poul could no longer walk properly. Later his sister gave him some food and medicine, but he could not eat it by himself because of the severity of his injuries. His sister informed the police officer about the incident. When asked by the officer, Poul told him that he had been tortured, but the officer ignored him, saying that they never tortured anyone. He instead gave his name card to the victim's sister, telling her of his brother. Poul has a weapon. Ask him to hand over the weapon to the police. If there is any information regarding the weapon, immediately contact me. When asked whether they would be releasing Poul or taking him to a court, the same officer told him, at the moment, we will neither bring him to court nor release him. We will keep him for further investigation. After learning this, the sister asked this police officer again not to torture her brother anymore. Poul's sister later asked him whether he had any weapon, and he told her that he was not aware of what the police were accusing him of. He told her that the police had been putting pressure on him to admit that he had a weapon and was connected to terrorists. Complaints made to the Inspector General of Police, the National Police Commission and the Human Rights Commission have not been acted upon.